Okay, this is a quick example about a rectangle. It's a pretty neat example because if I give you any one angle of a rectangle, you'll be able to find any other angle in the rectangle if your picture looks like this. So we're going to talk through how to find all the other angles in this picture, okay? And I've given you one angle that's 40. Now we're going to mark a couple things that we already know, a couple of the characteristics, the properties we talked about. Remember we said the diagonals bisect each other and they're congruent, so all four of these segments are the same length. And notice that that creates four isosceles triangles, two on the left, two on the top and bottom, two on the right and left, and two on the top and bottom. Okay, so you have four isosceles triangles there. The other thing we learned is that the corners are all right angles, which means they add to 90. Okay, they're all complementary. So what we can do is if we know that this angle's 40, the other one has to be 90 minus 40, which is 50. Now in an isosceles triangle, remember the two sides that are congruent, the angles across from those are congruent. So if this angle's 50, this angle's 50, because they have to be congruent to each other. Those are the base angles. There's 180 degrees in a triangle. If those two angles are 50 apiece, we add them together, we get 100. Has to be 180 total degrees. 180 minus 100 is 80. So far we found that whole triangle there. We found all three angles. We can continue using the same ideas here. If this angle's 50, the one next to it has to be 40, because they have to add to 90. This angle over here has to be 40 because it's an isosceles triangle. The triangle, that whole triangle there, has 180 degrees. 40 plus 40 is 80. 180 minus 40 is, minus 80 is 100. So now we found half of the rectangle, two of those triangles. We have vertical angles here, the angles across from each other. So if this angle is 80, that means this angle is 80. Same thing happens with these hundreds. That one at the top is 100, so the one below it is 100. Now if you start to look here, the rectangle is going to have the exact same numbers on the other side. This is going to be 50, 50, and 40, all for the same reason, that they have to make 90 in the corner, okay? So we found every angle in that rectangle, and it wasn't that difficult. We just needed to know that the corners were 90 degrees, and that there's 180 degrees in a triangle, and that isosceles triangles have congruent base angles. And if we know that, we can figure out any of the angles in a rectangle as long as they give you one.